morning and welcome to the Lyric Professors. I am Professor A. I am joined as ever by the musical mutt, Professor Dogger, and on the other side of the world, Professor J. How are things on the other side of the world, Professor J?
The clock is ticking, my friend.
Yeah, it's a bit worrying.
What are we talking about today, Professor A?
We're talking about the clock that's ticking, the Doomsday
Whoa.
Clock. This is a slight departure from our normal stuff, in that we are not
What is the
going to
Doomsday
explain.
Clock?
What is the Doomsday Clock? Doomsday Clock is the clock. Well, it's a fake clock, to be fair, but it's a bit of cardboard owned by the Bulletin of the Atomic Scientists, which is a fantastic band name.
It's a great fun name.
And since 1947, they have used this fake clock to suggest how close the world is to blowing up. Basically, originally it was just about the nuclear threat. Since then, it has been changed to include pandemics and climate change and even misinformation, which we don't have anymore, of course.
The estimated likelihood of human-made global catastrophe.
Catastrophe, really?
Yes.
Well, there you go. It's a symbol of the existential dangers that humanity faces. And caninity, that's quite right, Professor.
Yeah. So why are we talking about that Doomsday Clock today, Professor Ryan?
Well, because it has a couple of weeks ago reached its closest ever time to midnight, which of course is midnight means end of the world, and we're now 89 seconds away.
So, when it started in 1947, what was it at?
It was 7 minutes to midnight, I believe.
It was 7 minutes to midnight.
Yes.
And prior to this date, what was the lowest that it got to?
I believe it was 20 to midnight at the end of the Cold War. I could be wrong. Oh, you mean the lowest? The highest?
Yes, the lowest, yes.
The highest was 2 minutes to midnight.
2 minutes to midnight, yes. So that was in 1953. During the time, I guess we could call it the the Cold War, when
Yes.
US were testing its thermonuclear devices, 52, 53.
Yes, but it was also the Korean War. And one of the Vietnam Wars or Indochina Wars and Indochine. So there was a lot going on.
There was a lot going on.
1953 was a lot.
Yeah, so sort of 53 to 60, it stayed at 2 minutes to midnight. Then everything got better again. And 1963, it was up to 12 minutes to midnight.
Was it 12, not 20?
Yes. But then in 1991, it was up to 17, I believe.
All right.
So 17 minutes to midnight. This was after the United States and Soviet Union Strategic Arms Reduction Treaty.
And wasn't that roughly when the Berlin Wall came down as well?
I believe it was, yeah.
Yes. We should know because we did that in our last episode. But I've forgotten because I'm old. I'm sorry. Yes.
So it goes up and down, and most recently it has been going down. It is now at its nadir. We are now at the closest risk of a global human-initiated catastrophe. What did we say it was? 89 seconds
89
to midnight.
seconds to midnight, yes. But that was a couple of weeks ago. Trump's been busy. Just say that.
How often is it assessed?
I am not aware of that, to be honest.
Okay. Well, it is assessed in the January of each year. So we do not have a live date. So if certain people make certain decisions, we're not going to get a live updating of the clock. But
because we won't reach next January. Yes.
Yes, right, we do. So the most recent update of the Doomsday Clock was on January the 28th, 2025. It was set to 89 seconds to midnight, which unfortunately isn't very catchy, but Two
No, it
minutes.
isn't.
2 minutes to midnight is very catchy, isn't it?
Yeah, is that where you first heard of the Doomsday Clock?
Um, I don't think I'd ever heard of the Doomsday Clock.
All right. Well, I first
Because-
became aware of the Doomsday Clock when the Iron Maiden brought out their song 2 Minutes to Midnight.
But they don't mention the Doomsday Clock.
No, they don't, but I looked it up because I'm intelligent.
How did you look things up in them days?
Encyclopedias.
What did you look up?
Korean War, that kind of thing, Cold War. Actually came to the phrase 2 minutes to midnight. Excuse me. No, do not throw my glasses on the floor, Professor Dogger. It's not good. And yes, speaking of the Iron Maiden song, which was on their Power Slave album, I found my teenage rock jacket.
Oh.
And it's stuck to the chair. There we are. And I had on the back a patch of 2 minutes to midnight, the Iron Maiden.
That is absolutely epic.
Go.
I love it. What else we got? Metal Liquor.
Metallica,
Definitely.
Alcoholic are 100% proof. There you go. Aerosmith.
Def Leppard.
Leotard. Bit of Queen. Gun, the first band I saw live. First proper band I saw live. Get off this bloody microphone cable. Rolling Stones, I saw them at Wembley. It was nice. Thunder.
Yes.
Yes.
Wow.
Ghostbusters for some reason. Queensrÿche badge. Another gun badge. Skid Row for some bizarre reason. Another Metallica. Marillion.
Wow.
About it, I think. Yeah, and a sexy red ribbon. There you go.
Sexy. That is a work of art.
Yes, indeed it is.
Wow.
Glad I haven't thrown it away.
Yeah.
I used to find it. I wouldn't fit in it, obviously. It's half the size though.
Them's were other times.
Yes.
So there are a number of songs that talk about the Doomsday Clock.
Mm.
How should we do this? Should we dig into 2 minutes to midnight, or should we just list the songs that talk about the Doomsday Clock?
Well, we could list the ones that are on the playlist of the Bulletin of Atomic Scientists.
Okay.
But I don't have any of these lyrics in front of me, I'm afraid, because I've had a very busy week being miserable. And yes, so I don't have any of these lyrics, but I'm happy to discuss them with you.
Okay. Well, I will only have 2 minutes to midnight. Okay. So let's list the songs. Where do you want to start?
Well, I don't know. What order are they in on the playlist? I can't remember. The ones I remember are obviously Iron Maiden, and then there's a Smashing Pumpkins song called Doomsday Clock,
Yeah.
which I quite like. No one else does. It's from the album Zeitgeist, which everyone hated, but I quite like.
Okay, well, let's start there. So that was a 2007 track. I've got a quote from
Yes.
the Billies.
Yes, I've seen that.
Would you like to read it, or shall I?
I haven't got it. I've seen
okay.
it, so you read it.
If you want to understand the Doomsday Clock inspiration, it's simple. I'm an American. Being American right now, that is my experience. I feel like I'm watching something ticking down. I don't know what's ticking down. I don't know why it's ticking down. I don't know who is moving the hands on the clock, but I certainly feel like an observer. So
Imagine how he feels now.
Yeah, that was in 2000. Well, maybe he feels jubilant. That's
Well, certainly an observer, whether he's jubilant or not.
2007. It was at 7 minutes or 6 minutes.
Mm. But then, of course, you've got to remember the Doomsday Clock is global, not an American thing, so it's entirely possible to be feeling the zeitgeist to follow the album in one country, whereas things are going badly wrong in other countries that would affect the Doomsday Clock.
Absolutely.
There was a lot of stuff in the Arab world going on back then, I believe. Insurrections and things.
Doo-doo-doo-doo. Next song is a song by Bright Eyes, which is called Easy Lucky Free.
Sounds very Doomsday Clocky.
2005. I set my watch to the atomic clock. I hear the crowd count down till the bomb gets dropped. I always figured there'd be time enough. I never let it get me down.
All right. Cool.
Okay. Then we have The Who Why Did I Fall for That from 1982. It's Hard album, which taps into early 1980s nuclear anxiety.
Yes. I remember that. People were very concerned. In fact, I've just thought of a lyric, which is not from a song about the Doomsday Clock, but one I wanted to bring up. It would involve a swear, so I will censor the swear. But from the last Electric Six album, called Turquoise, as I would say it, and Turquoise, as they say it, and Turquoise, as you probably say it, being French. And from the title track, there's the line something like, "Remember when we were all scared of the atom bomb? Now we're ordering our sandwiches from s.com." S being a rude word. And I thought that was a great lyric.
S.com?
It's a rude word I'm not allowed to say.
What's
as
it
in an
rhyme
S
with?
sandwich. Hit.
Ah, okay. Why
That
would you order a sandwich from rudeword.com?
Because it's a song about COVID. It's like, remember when we were afraid of the atom bomb? Now everything's S.
Ah, okay.
Oh, never mind. Forget I brought it up.
No. I was interested. No, I was just trying to understand the reference. Okay, so some lyrics from this Who song. 4 minutes to midnight on a sunny day. Maybe if we smile, the clock will fade away. Maybe we can just force the hands to reverse. There we go.
Maybe.
Another 1980s song. This is The Clash, The Call Up. It's the next one. And the reference is, at 55 minutes past 11, there is a rose. This is an anti-draft, anti-war song.
Didn't actually have the draft then, did we?
No, when did it stop?
A long time before that. 60s, wasn't it?
Next song is from Bastille, 2019. Quarter past midnight.
Oh, right, that's different.
And it's a 12:15, and you said we'd leave this place in dust and fall from heaven straight through hell. We never know what we have. We never knew what we had.
Yeah, I don't understand it. Well, 12:15. What's that about?
Well, he's saying that it's been and gone.
All right.
And things are actually all right.
We're all living in our nuclear bunkers, are we?
Exactly.
Which reminds me, I never got round to watching the Fallout series. Have you seen that?
Never heard of it.
It's based on the computer games, the Fallout, which are about a post-nuclear society. But it's on either Netflix or Amazon Prime, and it's got fantastic reviews. It's people living in a bunker. So this isn't a happy game. This is a radioactive monsters trying to murder you all the time.
They're bunking up together, aren't they?
Bunkering up, yes. Oh, what are you doing, Gracie? Get it. Oh, sorry, I revealed the real name of Dogger then for a second.
Oops.
Yeah.
Professor D. The next track is from Pink Floyd.
Yes.
In the 80s again, 1983. Two Suns in the Sunset.
The final chat.
Yes, indeed. The closing track. It says we're at 100 seconds to midnight on the Doomsday Clock. This is the closest the human race has ever been to nuclear catastrophe. Wow.
Oh, how things change.
We're 11 seconds closer to that catastrophe now.
Yes.
Mr. Roger Waters. What are you going to do about it? Okay. Next one is LinkedIn Park. 2007, Minutes to Midnight. I don't have the lyrics, but I've got a quote. Hoping to continue its colossal success, the group spent more than a year working on Minutes to Midnight, a reference to the Doomsday Clock, writing over 100 demos and eventually settling on 12 tracks that Shinoda describes as a breakthrough in the development of the band's sound. For LinkedIn Park. I've never listened to any Linkin Park. Have you?
Oh, some of their early stuff's very good.
Yeah.
And I really like they did a collaborative album with Jay-Z as well, which was actually really good. And I noticed they've now got themselves a female singer, which is a bit different.
Oh, wow.
After Chester, what's his face, did something we're not allowed to mention.
Oh, I missed all this. Next one I have is by a group that I've not heard of before, but they're called Wah! Heat. So is that Wah! Heat?
I expect so, yes.
1980. And it's called 7 Minutes to Midnight. Reflecting the 1980s change of the Doomsday Clock from 9 minutes to 7 minutes to midnight.
Crikey.
Next one is by Midnight Oil, again from the 80s, 1984.
Fantastic.
Minutes to Midnight, Midnight Oil. I look at the clock on the wall, it says 3 minutes to midnight. Faith is blind when we're so near.
True that.
True that. And that's the one that's got the it's got a sort of image of Sydney after a nuclear strike as the cover of the album.
Oh, right. Nice.
Okay.
I can't.
Next, another group I've not heard of. It's called Flowbots. Have you heard of Flowbots?
I've not heard of Flowbots. No.
So the song is "The Circle in the Square." I'll give you some lyrics. Whatever time it was when you began, the clock is now 11:55 on the big hand. So you're invited into the circle that we sleep in, invited to depend on friendships we deepen, to uncover the secrets in the breath that we're bleeping, the treasure maps we pretend we do not believe in.
Right.
Good, that one.
The big hand doesn't do minutes.
No, it's a bit odd, isn't it?
It doesn't really work.
Okay.
It's not like small has more syllables than big.
Another song is from the well-known group Snowy and Jason Williamson.
Right. Those lads.
And it's called F-Ed. Maybe it's Eft.
I think it's probably
Eft. So a 2019 song, which was later championed by a number of BBC radio DJs, including Iggy Pop. Is Iggy Pop a radio DJ?
In Britain? That seems very unlikely to me, but who knows?
Well, the words are, I can tell something ain't right. It's 1 minute to midnight.
Crikey.
There we go.
That's what it says on the tin. Yeah. That's much better than this big hand wobbling around, not telling seconds.
Then the last one on this list is The Russians by Mr. Sting, 1985. And it's his debut solo album, The Dream of the Blue Turtles. There's no such thing as a winnable war. It's a lie we don't believe anymore. Mr. Reagan says, we will protect you. I don't subscribe to this point of view. Believe me when I say to you, I hope the Russians love their children too.
Of course they bloody do. What a stupid thing to say.
You go and tell Mr. Sting now.
I think I would hope that lots of people already have. I mean, you can't, just because they're against you and you feel threatened by their nuclear missiles, you can't suggest that an entire race or country doesn't love its children. I mean, that's ridiculous. It's a stupid thing to say.
And then the one that brought us to this, 2 minutes to midnight, that we've seen the patch for, Iron Maiden, 1984, got to number 11 on the UK singles chart. That must have been the highest charting metal song at the time.
Wasn't even the highest charting Iron Maiden song.
At that time, in 1984.
Trooper got higher, and Run to the Hills got higher.
Run to the Hills. Okay. Contrary to popular belief, it does not mention either 1980s Cold War tensions or the Cuban Missile Crisis, but was instead inspired by hydrogen bomb tests in the 1950s, hence it being 2 minutes to midnight.
Yes, of course.
Not correct for the 1980s. So we heard it was different. 2 minutes to midnight, the hands that threaten doom. 2 minutes to midnight to the unborn in the womb.
Yeah, I'm not really sure about that bit. Yeah.
I mean, this is a banger, right? This is an amazing song.
It is a great song, and it has.
I mean, it's a real sing-along chorus, right?
It is. It has some real heavy lyrics rather than heavy music as well.
The killer's breed or the demon's seed, the glamour, the fortune, the pain. Go to war again, blood is freedom's stain. Don't you pray for my soul anymore. The blind men shout, let the creatures out. We'll show the unbelievers.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how that fits.
Napalm screams of human flames for a primetime Belsom feat. Yeah.
Yes, it's certainly a song.
I like this. I always like this, the rhythm of this line. As the reasons for the carnage cuts their meat and liquor the gravy.
Oh, that's good, isn't it? Yeah. Because liquor can be an alternative word for gravy.
Indeed.
And I think they're playing that off lick the gravy. Yeah. I mean, liquor, of course, in that sense, is an East End of London thing, isn't it? You have your eel pie with liquor.
Pie mash with liquor.
Yeah.
Have you ever had that?
No, don't do eels. My father used to buy jellied eels every weekend after playing squash and bring them back and try to make me eat. He was a cruel, cruel man.
I always wanted to go, when I was living in the East End, I always wanted to go and have proper pie and mash in a proper pie and mash shop and realised I never did.
No. Never been to such an establishment.
If they still exist.
I do. There's one on EastEnders, so they do.
It must be true.
Eels.
Really? Eels. Is he still in?
He still is. Well, he may well be leaving in the 40th anniversary celebrations next week. I'm very excited. Are you? No, of course you don't. I watch it so I can talk to my mother. It's great.
Soap's still a thing.
40 years of it. Yeah.
I remember the first episode.
So do
I. We all oil the jaws of the war machine and feed it with our babies. Are we still talking about EastEnders?
Quite possibly. Yeah. I guess it's talking about extinguishing future life rather than actually physically trying to feed the machine.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not sure about Bruce Dickinson's lyrics. If they are his lyrics, I'm not actually sure who the lyricist for the band was. It's Steve Harris, actually, bassist.
Songwriters Bruce Dickinson, Adrian Frederick Smith.
Oh, he was the second guitarist.
He was, yeah. I mean, I think they're brilliant lyrics. I think they're really good. And I think the way they scan is really brilliant. It's got a banging chorus, real sing-along chorus. I mean, I think it's a wonderful song.
It's good. I wasn't that into Iron Maiden when I was that young.
You've got a big patch.
It was cool. But I know I did like them. They weren't. I think I'm just saying I think I like them more now than I did then.
Right.
Although not their recent stuff so much.
I think this is a controversial opinion, which I don't know if I've ever voiced to you. Probably have. I think that Seventh Son of a Seventh Son is the perfect concept album.
It is very good.
But I was listening to it. I've listened to it a couple of times already this week. I think it is brilliant.
It's very good, yeah.
It is a complete concept album from beginning to end. It tells a story, starts slow, the final song references the first opening piece of music. It's perfect.
No, yeah. I mean, there's others, but sure. We should do an episode on concept albums.
Oh wow, yeah. Kinks.
Marillion, obviously. Yes, I would need to, and of course, Imagine Us by Blue Oyster Cult.
Indeed, well, that's a whole separate season on that.
Yes, it is. Yes, we should do that. I might even do some research for that one. That'd be a good one.
Yes. So there we go. Doomsday Clock. Look, people, it's no longer 2 minutes to midnight. 2 minutes to midnight seems like a wonderful place. We're no longer 2 minutes to midnight. We're at 89 seconds to midnight, or we were on January the 28th. Do something about it.
Yeah, this is not a political broadcast, but every politician of every party in every country, sort it out. Have a word with yourselves.
Yeah.
You're being dicks. Now stop it.
Stop it right now. Let's get back to two. I want to get back to a time when, with 2 minutes to midnight, not 89 seconds to midnight, please. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yes, that's our campaign. 2 minutes to midnight.
Indeed. Well, do we have anything else to say on the Doomsday Clock? Tick tock, tick tock.
No.
No, me either.
So,
Right, well, this is just a one-off because we happened across the picture on the BBC of the clock, which is similar to that one in the corner, but the one in the corner, I don't know why I'm pointing. The one in the corner is not from the BBC because they would have sued Al behind them. I can't remember where it's from, but they will probably also sue Al behind them. But there you go. Anyway, so it's been fun, and Professor Dogger has enjoyed this, which is the main which is the main aim of these shows, is to amuse Professor Dog. And we are still working on our new project. We have made a slight amount of progress, and by the time next January comes around, we will probably have released it. It's only a year left. Doomsday
when the
Clock
clock is back to 2 minutes to midnight.
Yes,
hopefully.
exactly. Yes. So we will probably be popping up with various one-offs, probably a concept album next. And we will see you shortly. Thank you for joining us, and give us a ticky and a belly and a pork belly. That'd be good. And comments. Oh, hello. We have a performance before we leave.
I've shown you my thunder tube.
Yes. That's very Doomsday Clockish, I have to say. Crikey. That's really good. Can I stop now and close this episode down? Bye bye, everybody.